look at the performance of Zambia's economic performance in the 2025 year under the UPND administration. Let me welcome Mr. Kapembwa Simbao. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Ruben. I'm glad that you found time to bring me back on your show.
Indeed.
And I want to say good evening to viewers, and I want to wish you happy Christmas.
All right, great. Thank you so much for finding time to even feature on Christmas Eve. I know some people would have said, I'm busy with parties, but for you it's a different story, isn't it?
Well, well, you know the mood.
Yes.
The mood is that everyone is kind of engulfed.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Indeed.
So the mood is the same. One would like to be jovial mood and everything, but when duty calls, I guess you have to.
You just have to show up.
Yeah.
Indeed, and obviously we can't stop talking about issues of national interest, even if it's a festive season. Let's take a look at the performance of Zambia economically. In the year 2025, Mr. Simbao, under the UPND government, how would you rate Zambia's economic performance?
Yes, I want to be fair here. And I'll be fair in the sense that I want to talk about Komboni economics. I don't want to talk about bourgeois economics.
The jargon kind of economics.
The jargon kind of economics.
Indeed.
Where you need to draw graphs and no one is following what you're trying to get to. I want to talk about the Komboni economics, and that is the stomach.
Okay.
This year, like the other 3 years and all that, has been very brutal. Very, very brutal. I don't know. Again, I must be fair here. I'm trying to talk for the majority of the people.
Right.
I know there's a few people who do not see any difference. Things are still very well for them. They have no problems getting into a shop and buying whatever they want to buy. I'm not talking about those people. And I know they are there. You know, to be fair to them.
True.
Yeah, things are still good. And some of them are doing very well. I'm talking about the majority. People, when they go to sleep, they don't know what to do tomorrow. They have not even a single kwacha in their pocket. And it's not because they don't want to have money. They don't just know where to find it. There's no work for them to make the money. You know? Those are the people I'm trying to talk about. The farmers.
Right.
I think of my farmers in Maole village. They sold their maize. 25 bags, 30 bags. They have not been paid. Today I got a call saying that how are we going to enjoy Christmas? And I said, what do you want me to do? He said that we haven't been paid. I said, but what do you want me to do? You know, maybe New Year. Can you target New Year? Can you forget about Christmas? Target New Year. Such people who can't eat 3 meals as before a day, that is the majority I want to talk about.
Right.
And who are those people? Mainly, these are groups of the very important people. The peasant farmers. The peasant farmers, if they are not there, you cannot have any food in the country concerning milling.
Right.
The meal we are eating today, expensive as it is, it has come from the labor of those people. But those are the people who for the last 6 months or 4 months have heard that we haven't been paid our money for the maize we delivered. They haven't been able now to pay the 400 contribution they are asked so that they can get the fertilizer and stuff, the inputs. They haven't had that means to do that. But what is even worse, they don't even have salt in their homes. Most of these are using Kalora salt. They have to go and borrow from the next neighbor to say, look, can I just have some little salt? Forget about sugar. Forget about bread. Those things are now gone. You know, I don't know. I believe there are people out there who are hearing me. Because I know there are some people, I don't know how they are made. They'll still argue that these things are not happening. But these things are there. You know, there's a time before you go off. There's a time. I never used to put myself in the brackets of poor.
Okay.
Now I'm not able to buy bread. When people start talking about sugar in the house, I'm worried. How am I going to manage? So now I've slipped into that bracket myself.
Okay.
And so the poor have increased than reducing.
Okay.
It's been brutal.
So when you say the poor have increased than reducing, what do you think is causing the number of poverty to increase?
People can't buy things, first of all. Like I said, a bag of meal, even today, it's very expensive. It's in the range of 250 to 300. People used to buy this at 50 kwacha. Yes, it came to 130. It was expensive, but people can still, manage. Now it is 250, 300. Now it's not possible. Mind you, the average salary in this country is about 3,000 kwacha. And if somebody doesn't have their own home, as it is in many cases,
right,
they have to pay rent, they have to pay electricity, they have to do a lot of things. By the time they look at what they are left with, it's nothing. They have to try and see how else can they make up to even buy a bag of meal.
Right.
So the situation as it stands today for an ordinary Zambian, very brutal. And what is sad about this is that there is no way anyone can see things changing. And I want to say this. The reason is this. Everyone says, akabwali. That's what they say. Akabwali. Now, people are forgetting this, that this thing is a chicken egg stuff. Unless somebody breaks in the middle there and say, okay, chicken first before the egg. And that clears up things. And what I'm talking about is this. Once you raise the price of maize, the price of meal goes up. So yes, you praise the farmers, but these people here who buy, they have it very bad. And these are the opinion makers, the town dwellers, the workers. Because these don't go into the farm to farm. But you praise the farmers here, but these other people here can't afford it. So unless you as a government, you come in between, you praise this group here, you also praise this group here. If you don't do that, you always have this situation where one group is very upset.
All right.
And let me tell you this. The teachers, the nurses, the general workers in government, they are very upset. There is nothing good for them. They can't eat chicken like before. Maybe today they will buy a chicken. Luckily.
So how do you plan to do things differently? There's one thing, serious thing that you've mentioned, the issue of delayment in terms of paying farmers. How that is affecting the farmers, you have outlined that. But let's look at the solution that you have in relation to that. How do you plan to do things differently in the agriculture sector in terms of paying the farmers and just supporting the peasant farmers?
Yes. First of all, reality is what must prevail. Reality is like this. And this is where people probably fail to understand government. When government budgets for purchase of maize, usually they budget to buy 500,000 metric tons. And if you have heard them talking of late, they've said for that quantity, they paid the farmers. But you see, Zambia produced, according to them, 3 million metric. Now, according to them, they didn't budget for that. So they have no money for that. But meanwhile, they tell all the farmers, bring your maize. And I remember at one time they said, we'll first have to sell off. They found a market. Then once we get that money, then we'll
pay the farmers.
So this has to be broken down.
Okay.
This has been going on for quite some years now, where you only budget for 500,000. Meanwhile, you know that your farmers will produce more than this. So you should plan for two things.
Okay.
Either you free your farmers, you say sell your maize wherever you want, which is possible. Where I come from, the Tanzanians used to buy the whole field, not necessarily the maize in the bags. They just come and buy the field.
Okay.
And you know, it was so simple for the farmers because they don't even need to, nothing even cleaning the maize once he has packed it. Nothing like cleaning the maize. They just come and buy everything.
And just go with it.
And go with it. Even the millet.
Okay.
They'll just come and buy everything and go with it. Now, those are the things you should look at. This is possible. These things are possible. If you are not able to buy all the produce, let others buy it so that your people do not suffer.
So why do you think the government is not letting the people sell, out there, but they want to have all the maize even when they didn't budget to pay the farmers?
Well, again, only them can answer that. I know that we are supposed to have a stock buffer for maybe 2 years or 3 years, which, like when the UPND came, they found all these maize and thought PF people were stupid. Sell it and get the money and invest it somewhere else. You're supposed to have a buffer stock, just in case.
Right.
This year seems to be starting well, the rains. But just in case it doesn't start well, you must have a fallback, which for some time we haven't had. So it's always good to buy slightly more than you actually consume, because you must have a fallback position. That is for the next year. So when you're starting the other year, for a consumer, there should be very little difference in the price of meal, for example. I was hoping, when I heard that they have produced 3 million metric tons, I was hoping to see a very big dip
in terms of the prices of meal.
The price of meal. But like I said, it's not the amount you produce, it's how much you are buying it. That determines
the production cost.
The production cost, the price.
Okay.
So the government is not thinking about the poor. The government, I think, they think work and then you eat. And that's correct. But there are some people that work and they don't get much. So you have to look at those people. I went to India and I was shocked. India has got 1.4 billion people. No one goes hungry. Yes, you see poor people. They never go hungry. That's what a government. And where other things are concerned, like medicines and other essentials, they've got stores for such people. You have a card, you carry a card. You go in that shop and you show them the card and you can buy all these things. Very good things, but at reduced prices. Because they know that you are not in a good situation like many others. They have that. So basically they try to even out, try to make sure everyone has a good life.
So they have a program for poor people in India.
You can say that, because at least they told us these shops, the guys who...
So they even have vouchers given to the poor people to go and...
Something like a card.
Okay.
It's not a voucher, it's a card.
It's a card.
You must have your own money.
Card.
Yeah, you must have your own money. But those things, they are cheaper. As you are, like maybe half the price you'd find them in ordinary shops.
Can Zambia implement such a program?
Yes. Most of these things, in fact, I thought maybe we can talk about this. Most of these things is just up to the leader. Just like, in any other organization, it's just up to the leader. If the leader has a good idea and is able to convince the others to follow him, they will follow him. It's the leader who must say, I don't want to see poverty in Zambia. And he's going to do it. As you know, it's just where the will is. When there's a will,
there's a way. Money
is found. It doesn't matter what is. Look at this by-election. Surely 4 months before the general elections or whatever you want to call it, you have to spend so much money on this. Yes, because there's a will. So the money is found.
Okay.
Where there's no will, people can die on the streets. It's their problem. They can whatever not eat is their problem. But where there's a will, a person will make sure everyone is fed. And this is what Chinese people have done.
Okay.
They have the will. They have 1.4 billion people. No one starves. This is what the Indian people have done. They have the will. They have 1.4 billion people. No one starves. Unfortunately, Zambia has not done that. By the way, don't think it's easier to rule China, or don't think it's easier to rule India than it is to rule Zambia. It's not. It's even more difficult out there than it is here.
Because of the population.
I mean, 1.4 billion people is not something, I mean, we're only 22 million, you know? So, and believe me, we have more land per person than they have in India or China, you know? But here we are, because the government doesn't seem to care. People are dying of hunger. They can't eat properly. You know, the malnutrition levels here are very high. I think stunting is about 52% or 60% in Zambia, which is a disaster. Really.
So, yes, you may go on.
So, you know, things have not come out better for 2025. It's a disaster of the year that, unfortunately, for a lot of people, many, the poor ones, they dread 2026 because they see no hope.
Okay.
They are coming their way, and they dread it.
So what impact do you think the debt restructuring had on Zambia's economy, especially in 2025? Did it have any impact, any effect on the economy?
You know, first of all, people must understand this, that the IMF are not here to help you get better. That's not their core reason why they help you with this structure or whatever you're talking about. Are
they not like a doctor? Like they want you to get healed?
They're here to make money. Now, the way they make money, it's not the way you normally make money. Like I sell this, I pocket the money is mine. No, they make money by making you poorer. They actually might not make the money the way you see it, but they will make sure that they will make you become poorer. And how do they do that? You never finish paying the interest. You continue paying almost like forever. And what do they do? Once they see that you're nearing the end, because they know you're still in problems, they'll come and say, look, why don't you look at this to help you restructure your debt and all that and all that. And again, you get locked in.
They give you another program.
Yes, and you continue. You know, of late, Argentina has just said to hell with you. You know? And if you know how Argentina, the present president, came in force with the backing of the IMF and the Americans and all that. Now they've just said, look, now we know who you are. To hell with you. We shall go with the other bloc. And they're trying to move to BRICS, you know, where these things are not like that. So, there is no IMF program that makes any country better.
Okay.
That's what you should know. It's temporal, and they'll make sure they drive it hard in you. Yes.
So obviously debt restructuring has got no impact.
You see, it's a relief for us.
Okay.
But not for the future.
Just for the meantime.
It's just for us. And if I don't know, if the government worked smarter, maybe with this little time that the load has been lifted up a bit, maybe they can try to run faster.
Okay.
But you see, what I see is not what is happening, because we seem to have relaxed. Instead, we're doing things. Haven't you read? Recently, it is one of the papers that 111 million kwacha was not used, PDF, something like that. I don't know if it's on this program where I said, look, this money too much. Maybe it's on the other program. But the point is, we are getting this money and raising the amount of CDF. Not going anywhere for anything. Somewhere, they reported recently, I think it's Karurusha, I don't know, where this DC went and found 200 bags of cement damaged from CDF money. But the point I'm raising is, yes, you try to release yourself from this debt by restructuring it, but you are increasing the wrong things. Take this money into industry. It's an opportunity to employ people. Take this money. Look at the sewerage system in this country. It's a disaster now. Soon, in 10 years' time, there will be sewer all over town. This is something a government like this must look at and say, look, let's build proper sewer system. We shouldn't allow any more soakaways and septic tanks in people's yards and all that, you know? But that's where that money is supposed to be going. It makes sense.
Okay.
Not the way that they're using it.
All right. Let's briefly talk about, you know, the cost of living. You've just mentioned to say only a few people are managing to have 3 meals per day. I want to find out really, where do you think the UPND government went wrong in bringing down the high cost of living?
Yeah. One is not having time to study how the others try to run the country.
Okay.
Instead, they just thought that they were all just useless. And I think we shall run the country
The different way.
our way. Now, if they had spent time, and this is what must be encouraged, when you take over government, don't think everything that your friends were doing
Is bad.
is bad. Don't even think the people that were in those positions, all of them are bad. And don't even think the people that you find there, don't all of them don't like you. Don't even think like that. I think the best thing you should do is study, first of all, why they failed. That's the first thing you should do, which I think you can do when you are in opposition. Why are these guys not managing? Okay? And then you know that, okay, their problem has been too much expenditure in unnecessary areas. Okay? For example, you see, I feel very sad. You know, most of the projects we are carrying out in this country, they are not original. We don't originate them. We are told, you do the Ndora Osaka carriageway, we shall give you money, and then you pay us back. Meanwhile, the money that you use on that is just maybe your contribution, but you are going to pay back all the money that they say they will lend you to them. That's where we go wrong. We are being told what to do. And mainly, it's because the way we come into power, in most cases, we tie ourselves up. You know? Look, we don't have money right now as a political party. And yet, we want to be in power. And the most unfortunate thing is that Zambian politics is money. We hope that can be eliminated so that only merit and intelligence and sense can be put forward. It's not like that. Even in parliament, when you go there, most of them are there because of money, not because of what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, those are the politics of Zambia. So, we find that for now, we attract people whose interest is to control you.
Okay.
Because they want to get tenfold what they spend. So when you get into power, they are the ones who are going to tell you, look, you need to tie the whole of Lusaka, the capital town, we shall give you money, Exim Bank, China, whatever, and they give you, you only spend half of it, but you pay full that they gave you. They make the profit. Oh, look, you need connection. We shall give you money to buy towers, you know, and yes, it's a good project. I think we shall connect Zambia. Meanwhile, they take back 75%, and you pay them that much. So that's the most unfortunate thing. We are not originating what should our people be doing.
So why do you think we are not originating? Is it because we are not able to think on our own behalf to say we need a Ndola dual carriageway, we need a road system to be revamped, we need a flyover bridge maybe along Cairo Road to reduce the traffic? Why is it that we don't originate such ideas?
Yeah. And I'll tell you why, to prove what you're saying. You see, a proper Ndola Lusaka dual carriageway shouldn't have gone the same route. There should have been heavy alignment. Not the way you still find the same curves, the same what. You're not thinking.
So it's not modern?
No. The only place where you see that maybe there was a little, maybe one Zambian raised a question is when you reach Kapiri, you know, they have made a bypass. You don't have to pass through Kapiri. Yeah, they've done a bypass. Maybe there one Zambia said, oh please, listen, can we just have a bypass here? They said yes.
And they have to listen to it.
We are supposed to have a proper alignment. We are going to Ndola. We're not going to Kapiri. You know? We're not going to Kabwe. We're going to Ndola. And that's what should have been the case. If you go on that road today, even after they have made it double, you'll still be a very difficult road. The tracks. So the point to come back, we are not originating ideas as Zambians. We are being told what to do. And that money is all going back to them. By now, and maybe not just this government, maybe the previous governments, by now we should have had companies, Zambian owned, that can do tar roads proper. If we have one, it's an Indian company, Zambian Indian, not a local, not a indigenous. By now we should have had that. By now those are not the things that we should be allowing people to come from outside China or whatever. By now. But no one wants to think like that.
So why is it that we don't have such companies? You know, that
because no leader wants to think like that. And why? Because is what's the word? Not controlled, but in jail by the people that made him a leader.
A leader.
You know, they won't just let him go that easily. And unfortunately, many of us don't see our time to say that, look, I've lived 60 years, another one will come to live 60 years. They shouldn't come and live the life that I've lived. You know, when they come, they should find better life. And they will say, yes, people suffered for this life I'm living.
Right.
But it's not that way. You know, I want to live my life and to hell if ever is coming back. They will start from the beginning.
They'll start pushing from scratch.
Which is a very bad way of running a country. That's why people that aspire to run a country, they should not be looking at themselves. They should be looking at others. And they should see the most needy person, the most poorest person, that I want that person to be like me. Okay? Then you are going to rule the country properly. Not if you are taken care of. Because the people that rule countries, they are very well taken care of. That's why you find the person is 92 years. He wants to be a president, he wants to go.
It's because of the privileges.
They are very well taken care of. And they end up forgetting the people that actually get them there. So that's not a way to approach leadership. Unfortunately, that's how it still is. And maybe if we are not careful, it will be like this for another long time to come.
So now, before I invite the viewers to call in, I want to find out your alternative economic policies that you would offer as Zambia we want. What approach would you take different from the UPND approach?
Well, first of all, everything is in the same bowl. There's nothing you can say is outside the bowl. Everything is the same. The economics of this country is supposed to anchor on basically maybe 5 or 4 things.
Okay.
Agriculture. Now, why agriculture? You as a government must ensure that whatever you do, your people must be fed. And it doesn't matter where they are, they must be fed. So, you must find a way to ensure that there is food in the country. And the right food. It means people must drink milk every day, all of them. You must make sure you raise enough cattle to produce the milk. If you think people must eat eggs every day, you must make sure you have chickens to lay the eggs. As a government, that is your duty. If you can't do that, then you are not worth being there. Simple as that. Now, agriculture, everyone knows. A lot of people can get engaged in agriculture, depending on, look, I was saying this. Do you know that Namibia, they are buying their vegetables from Brazil?
From Brazil?
Even chickens from Brazil. And yet Namibians lived in this country for a long time. Most of them there in government are products of Zambia. And they know what Zambia can do. They know we have got very good land. They know we've got very good weather. They know that these things they are buying from Brazil, they can buy from Zambia. But obviously, they won't buy from Zambia because even us were failing
to provide for
our people. So how can they buy from us? But that's how bad we have been on agriculture. So that's the first thing any government to shine on is to see that its people are fed. Then you can be proud that, you're a government.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
The other thing, which is everyone knows, we are still very much favored by God with our minds. Now, we are so bad in our thinking ourselves. We believe there are no Zambians that can own mind. We believe that. Somehow that thought has really been driven into our heads.
For a long time.
For a long time. And we believe it. It's wrong. It's wrong in the sense that at least one government should have tried it. But can we have a Zambian-owned mine? And it's not new. If you go to Chile, the government of Chile owns the biggest mine in that country, 100%. So it's not something new. So why can't, we were told in the 70s, we're just at the same level with Chile. In fact, slightly better. We are producing more copper than them. But today they produce 5 million plus. We are just producing 800,000. But they own the biggest mine, Yakondia. Why can't we try? Why can't we say, let Zambians own a mine? And it makes a lot of sense. Why? Because we are going to make it as a standard. We are going to ensure that the cost of production that we are experiencing is what everyone else is managing. And we are going to make sure that we have a very well-run mine. And no one should tell us lies that they are losing money, they are what, because we know that for you to produce a ton of copper, it's cost so much. So why is it costing so much for you? Then you're not efficient. You shouldn't run this mine. Let's find somebody else. But we don't have that kind of checks and balances. So these people tell us anything. We're about the most expensive cost of production in the world. I think we're about $2,000 more than elsewhere. So, when they tell you that story, you feel sorry for the miners if it's true. But it's not true. Because we don't have any way of checking them.
Okay. So do you feel Zambia realizes enough from the mines that we have?
No. What do you mean? It's a good question. People are being cheated. When you produce 800,000, and for simple calculation, I didn't want to go that way because that's for some other people, bourgeois people. You want to talk combo economics. But let's just discuss that. And let's use a better figure: $10,000 per ton, 800,000 tons. So you get $8.8 billion. And Zambia says, hey! But you only get about 2% of that as a country. The rest goes away to the people who own the mines and all that. So you end up with only very little, not even $1 billion. You end in $1 million out of your money. So no. That's why in Chile they said, no, we shall run our own mine. Because if we produce 800,000 metric tons of copper, $8.8 billion will come here. And that's why they have got a sinking, what do they call it?
Sinking fund.
I don't know. Yeah, they've got this fund where all this money comes in, and then they are able to do what I'm saying you do. You know, you please the farmers and the buyers. You can only do that if you have that kind of money. If you don't have it like we don't have it, it's difficult. You know? So we get almost nothing from the mines. Nothing. And the Zambians must know that. Nothing. They are taking the copper, leaving ores, and that's what we shall remain with. Nothing.
Nothing at all. So how would you create employment for the young people, especially through industrialization? Considering the fact that right now there is massive load shedding, I know that it has reduced for some hours in some areas, but the impact is still being felt. How would you use the industrial sector to improve, the employment rate in Zambia?
Yeah, first of all, we are approaching this economy wrongly. First of all.
Okay.
It saddens me all the time for people to think we should be like America. They are forgetting the Americans have been shaping the economy for almost 200 years, plus. They've been shaping, and with very serious-minded leaders, not so much bent on politics as it is here, but bent on economics. For 200 plus years, they've been owning their
mines.
And they want to jump in there and reach at where they are immediately. It doesn't work like that. So all these guys I see in the roads, welding, whatever, we are supposed to make a special unit for them and even help them. If you go there and you examine what they are doing, most of it is bad. You find
quality.
that, yes, the quality. You find that the thing doesn't cost properly or leaves a gap or whatever, such that it makes people's houses not as good as they would, like that. We're supposed to make a unit for them where we maybe guarantee the sales of their products. Now, I'm talking about those guys who have taken an initiative, okay? For the rest of the people that you see just hanging around, if I had to cruise Zambia today, all those people, I can find them what to do. And I'll tell you what. Initially, because we have somewhere on the streets in the range of 2 million to 5 million, some people say 7, but when you calculate the figures of what you are saying, it's about 2-3 million youths who have no employment. Basically. So it is not possible that you can find even a mine that can mop up all those people, because a mine maybe might take 20,000, 30,000 or whatever, but you're
maybe even less.
Yeah, but you're talking of millions. So how do you handle this? So first of all, to keep them busy, you start with something very obvious. And what is this? In my mind, a national service is a good way to go. But a national service that pays somebody money, not a national service where somebody just lives and eats free food and all that. No. How do you do that? In my view, a protection unit in the police would do very well.
Okay.
And how do you do that? Everyone with grade 12 have to be trained in protection.
Okay.
But they will live from their parents, to come to work. So it doesn't matter where they are. They can be in the village, but as long as there is a police station there and they are grade 12, they will be trained in protection. And who are they going to be protecting? You and me, everyone. They will be all over town, they will be all over the compounds and whatever, and you pay them a student, not the salary of a full police person. Now, how do you do that? I went for national service. We used to go to camps where they were training us and everything and feeding us. And a lot of money was wasted on just trying to keep us going.
You call it wasting?
Yes.
Why do you call it wasting?
Yes, because certain things that happened. There was a lot of wastage of food, a lot of wastage. That's when I was a cadet, and I had the Part 2 certificate, which actually exempted me from military training, because all of us with Part 2 certificates were exempted. We had done all that that they were teaching in 6 months.
So you never underwent that?
But when I saw what I could see, I lost interest. I really wanted to be a soldier. I lost it. And why? So much waste. Now, where I'm trying to come to is, they were taking us to a camp, feeding us. That money they were spending on buying bed sheets, blankets, beds, what, that money, instead of spending it like that, it would be paid to people when they're coming from their own homes, for their transport, for their food, for 2 years. After that, we would have said, okay, guys, we had enough time to prepare for these people. Where are we putting them? The first thing is colleges. So every province must have a college that will teach fit for purpose skills, not just giving skills because you want somebody to run through college and go away. No, fit for purpose. What is this fit for purpose? We would start industries, okay? We would start, like I was saying, for example, we should raise units to do tarmacs, okay? We'll start companies, Zambian companies, to do tar roads, because we know we shall have to continue making tarmacs forever. It's not for once, it's forever. So we can train now these units, maybe one per province or whatever is the case. It might not mop up all these guys, but these are the areas that we shall address ourselves to. For example, farming. We shall upgrade the cooperatives. We shall teach these guys all that they need, and give them all the equipment. Don't you teach a person and expect them to go and buy a tractor. Where are they going to get the money from? And especially in this country where they want you to have correct or I don't know what they want. Where is the guy going to get the money from? So you as a government must be prepared to take the first step for these guys. Also even support them in their first year. Plow everything with them. And let them see how it actually should be done from school. That things are not like school is. In life, things are different. Let them see. Then maybe the second year, just do half of that with them. The third year, you leave them. And now, guys, look, we've given you a tractor, we've done this with you, and whatever. Now you're on your own. But you still monitor them so that they don't go backwards.
Okay.
So basically, you need that preparation. Industry. It's amazing. Most of the young people in town, they don't know what is made of copper. They have no idea. They have no idea that the phone that they're using has copper in it. They have no idea. So we need to put up industries which we can show our people that, look, you can convert copper into this. Okay? We must start, for example, producing motors. Okay? I'm just trying to talk about things that use copper. We must start doing that. We shouldn't just be leaving them to be done by other people elsewhere and then we import them. And our people, because they come covered in plastic, they have no idea that there is Zambian copper in there. We must stay away from that. Okay. And so we have a lot of things that we can engage. And believe me, don't be cheated. Don't be told that what is made in Zambia can't sell anywhere else. It's a lie. It's not true. I was in Minnesota. And I went into Walmart, and I was admiring these T-shirts, which I bought. And when I checked, they're made in Kenya. So don't be cheated. It's just that, can you make something with quality?
All right.
That's all.
Okay. All right, let me get to remind the viewers that you can be part of the program. Dear viewer, you can call. The program is on right now, and it's a phone-in program. You can be part of it. You can call the number that is showing on your screen, and let's get to hear from you. Zambia's economic performance in 2025 under the leadership of the UPND's administration. What is your rating? How would you rate Zambia's economic performance in 2025? I have with me President of the Zambia We Want Party, Mr. Kapembwa Simbao. He is our studio guest tonight. Now, one thing that I want us to find out, really, you said it's not true that something that was produced in Zambia can't sell outside. Now, this has been actually an argument, especially when it comes to locally produced goods. Some people would say we need to improve on the quality, even as we want to improve on the industries that we want to put up in the country. We first have to look at the quality of goods that we produce in Zambia. What is your take on that? Do you feel our goods are sellable, are marketable outside Zambia? Or maybe there's something that we're supposed to do?
Well, our goods are marketable outside Zambia. I'll give you an example of a company once called Cereals. Okay? Cereals was a company based in Rwanda. They were in clothing. Their suits were sold in London. They were sold in Kenya. And that's where you get all these sound, whatever they call them.
The safari suits.
Safari suits. And they were sold almost everywhere. People would buy a suit in London just to find it's made in Zambia. You know? So basically, you need to definitely match the quality. There's no way you can go around that. And that's not impossible. We are just human beings like anyone else. We're able to do that. The only problem we have, none of our leaders want to do that. Why? Like I told you, we are told what to do. We don't originate.
We are controlled.
We are controlled and told what to do, unfortunately. Because first we are told what to do. So we are told, look, you guys who continue buying Salaula, what's your point? What's your reason of starting a company that can make the shirts? Salaula shirts are very high quality, you know, and you listen. And that's where we've gone wrong. You know, they tell us we'll continue buying second-hand cars, and we're very happy. We listen. You know, we are supposed to go through a penny path. Okay? I'll tell you how South Korea did it. 11 houses watching one TV. 11 houses. South Korea. Watching one TV. Today in Zambia, you will find one house has 5 TVs. All of them from Japan, China. If they were made in Zambia, that would be fine. But none of those are made in Zambia. You know? Nothing is made in this country. People that have pride, they are leaders who are proud. They don't continue like they would rather put their head on the block and say, like, you know, in South Korea, they make their own cars, you know, Hyundai, whatever. You can import a car. It costs you a head. They won't stop you. You can import it, but it will cost you, I don't know.
Because they want to encourage local production.
Sell. But see how much they are selling here. They are selling in America. Their brands, they are what? You know? But first of all, they made sure their own people buy. That's how you do it.
All right. So now, how can our own people own this economy of Zambia? Because, like you've said, I feel like Zambia has been heavily dependent on FDI ever since we got independent, and we don't seem to loosen up the grip on that FDI. How best can we own our economy as the locals?
Okay, FDI, depending on how it comes, is not bad.
Okay.
Almost every country uses FDI.
Okay.
But in using FDI, you must also use your own local money. You know, and you do this, one, by having a local bank.
Okay.
A completely local bank, a Zambian bank, like Zanaco used to be before, but we never made proper use of it. You accumulate money by all these farmers, our small farmers. They put money in there, which is a lot, and we give to you. Because you think you can make tractor.
Okay.
So we'll give you, of course you are going to buy blueprints. I mean, you don't know how an engine is designed. You have to buy that and all that. But we'll give you that so that you start producing tractors. We'll give you this money so that you start producing all these TVs and whatever from our local money. If you don't do that, like we don't have now, you're not going to find anyone who can do. No one, no matter how much they like. So you must take that kind of step first. You must own a bank.
As a country.
As a country. You don't have one, like we don't have.
Okay. That answers the question. So now let's briefly talk about one program. I want to get your honest opinion. One program that was suspended by the UPND government, Cash for Work, it has been revised this time around. What is your comment? Do you think this is a campaign too, looking at how many months we have before the 2026 general elections? Or maybe it's a genuine program to help the poor, sustain themselves?
Is what you are going to start seeing from now onwards is all campaign.
Okay.
It's nothing genuine.
Everything
you are going to see from now onwards. Believe me, everything you are going to see from now onwards is all campaign. If it was going to be genuine, maybe if they had stated it in 2021 and they had given time that by this time we'll do this, maybe you can give them some benefit of doubt. But whatever you're going to see happening now, reduced road shading, whatever for work, they just want to please people. Window dressing, so you can call it. When they get into power, back into power, things will even be worse. People won't even know what has hit them. Because, you see, they are preying on the shortness of memory of people. They are hoping, for example, road shading. They are hoping all this excruciating suffering people have gone through for the last 4 years, they will forget it in these 9 months if they give them power for 24 hours a day. And I'm glad that at least somebody, I'm told, said no, it's because of the increased flow of water in curfew. But I'm glad someone has said no, we are buying it from Mozambique. That makes sense. But the question is, why did you let people suffer so? And by the way, we are still on this, what is this tariff? They put us on some tariff when they said they wanted to increase the
electricity tariff.
What did they call it? We are still on that thing. We're only supposed to have been there for 3 months. Power is so expensive now. We're buying, I think, 5 to 6 kwacha a unit, which we used to buy at 2 kwacha, 0.5. Very expensive. Very expensive. Even if they make it 24 hours a day, very few people will use it because power is too expensive. So, whatever you're going to see them doing now, so campaign. And they are playing on the fact that Zambians have very short memory. They will forget the suffering and, take to the enjoyment and vote them in. Then again,
they continue. All right. Let's talk about political alliances. You recently joined WOZA. First of all, make it clear for us. Are you part of WOZA as Zambia We Want?
Yes, we are part of WOZA. There are 5 parties. The NIP, ULP, New Heritage Party, PAC, and there's the Zambia Now. All the Zambians concerned with the ruling of they believe that His Excellency has really entrenched himself in power, such that no one single opposition party can remove him. So their prayer is that whatever happens, we should all just find one candidate. For WOZA, that's not an issue. And we are praying that we shall pray that part of trying to organize everyone else to find one candidate. So we are just the beginning. We are hoping that we shall be swilling and bring in everyone and find a candidate.
Okay.
We are not saying we who are there now should be the candidate.
Okay. So a candidate can come from anywhere else?
Yes. Okay. We believe that we might not be the best that the people are looking for. We might be. We might not be. Whatever is the case, what people are looking for is one best candidate. Who is that person? That person for once must take people's suffering as first priority. He must take people's hunger as first priority. Meaning, for once, he should forget what all these other presidents have been aiming for. Enjoying themselves. Don't see them the way they talk and you think they are there to enjoy themselves. And this must stop. I mean, I don't want to go personal. This must stop. So this particular person must be one who must be ready to empty his tank halfway. Okay, he shouldn't be getting involved in judiciary, in SEC, in parliament. Look, he has the economy to look after. Okay. That's a very big challenge for him.
So the main priority will be the economy.
Economy and peace in this country.
Okay.
You know, Zambia must be a oasis of peace. Zambia must be strong economically. And that's not simple. And those are the biggest powers any president must boast of. Not these things of being involved in judiciary. You know, just messing yourself up for nothing. So we want a person who is coming to rule like that.
Okay.
Yes.
So why do you make the economy as the first priority?
I told you, a tummy. You know.
Economics of the common.
It doesn't matter whether it's a kid, it's a dog, it's a what.
It has to eat.
So that president must ensure that that is not a worry to anyone, you know. And then peace. There should be peace in the country.
Right.
You know.
Right.
People should not be scared of their property. There will be a break-in. You know. Those two are very important and very powerful. And as a president, that should make you very happy if you can just manage these two.
And according to my knowledge, those two are good for investment as well.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course.
You know, they're very good for investment.
Of course. You know why we don't have much investment here? No, we lack protection. People don't want to go to, mind you, the world is very big. People don't want to go to a country where they're not sure whether their assets are safe or not. They're not.
So Zambia is not protected that much?
No. You know why? Because the judiciary is not free.
Okay.
You know, if I have a problem with the government, especially, we go to court, government will win. You know, even when the problem. But, you know, judiciary is scared. So they will win. So I will lose my property.
All right. As we're about to end the program, maybe let's talk about the by-election that will be held in Chawama. I heard you say, you know, the by-election in Chawama could have been avoided. Do you feel it was necessary to declare the seat vacant, even after looking at what Tasira Lungu has been going through with the death of her father?
No. And the problem with this much lies in the personal or person that has that power.
Okay.
Yes. Because first and foremost, there is no reason why Tasira's seat was declared, what do you call, vacant?
Vacant.
Yeah.
Well, but the reason was given because she stayed out of parliament for a long time.
Let me tell you. Maybe now they've changed.
Okay.
But, you know, during the COVID time, people were attending parliament wherever
virtually
they were, wherever they were. And they can still give that kind of, you know,
provision
for this problem. Because it's a real one. It's not a fake one. They could still give that kind of provision. And really, you know, the people that are doing this, I believe, maybe they had the opportunity to go to the Outward Bound like me. You know, I went for a senior course at Outward Bound. You know, they'll make you do something, difficult thing, but they'll make you do something, by really ensuring that they lead you to think this is correct. Okay? And you do it, and you'll be very happy. So really, they should have given her enough room, you know, give her all those facilities, attend virtually, and if she fails, they find other ways of encouraging her until she sees the need to represent the people of Kawama.
Do you think Zambia was very harsh?
If she says yes, if she says no, I have no more interest, yes, then they have no choice.
Okay.
Okay? Then they say, oh, we have no choice. The representative has said no. What do we do? And then they can say, well, let's go for another election because now we don't have a representative. But they didn't give her that kind of opportunity, which they had the power to do. They had the power to do.
Do you think we mistreated Tarsila Lungu to a fact that, you know, to a level whereby the coming generations will look at us to be unfair as a nation?
Well, maybe I can't go into that kind of direction of either she's been mistreated or not. All I know is that she's a person who is grieved and heavily grieved, for that matter, as we know. And I don't know. The people doing this to her, they know her. Not that they don't know her, they know her. So they are the ones to answer that question.
Okay. All right. All right. So as we are ending the program, maybe why should people get to join Zambia We Want and also vote for Woza? First of all, are you going to be standing as president in 2026? Considering that you're under Woza?
Yeah. Now, Woza, we are going for elections to choose a flag bearer.
Okay.
Yeah, this January.
Okay.
Yeah, now, like I said initially, even when we pick that flag bearer, we are not going to insist on that flag bearer standing for 2026. If we find a better
Candidate. Okay.
we're still open to that.
Oh, okay.
Unless we are found to be the best candidate, then yes, we'll be there we'll be the candidate on the, the voters' roll.
All right.
So that's the way I can answer that question. Now, the only thing I can add here is that any one of us, 5 of us, if we are found to be the correct person,
the eligible candidate,
we are ready to stand.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
As for joining the Zambia We Want, we have some very good rules in our party. Me as a president, I'm just a flag bearer, and somebody who can stand as presidential candidate. But I'm not the boss in my party. We have made it that the chairperson is the boss in my party.
Okay.
So we correlate and ensure that things are running properly. Yeah. So we are slightly differently organized, and we are trying to start like this so as to be ready if we get into office. The president must not be the authority. He must leave things to people that must manage them. For example, the Chief Justice must manage the judiciary. The Speaker must manage the Parliament. SEC like that. The President must be things that really are concerned to the people. Food.
So you shouldn't have so much power.
No. That's what we're trying to prepare. So that suppose I become president, I shouldn't have that thought of running away with the powers I find. Obviously, in our case, the first thing we'll do is to change the constitution to reduce the president's powers.
Okay.
And how are we going to do that? We shall go full-time proportional representation. Now, why is that important? That is important because the president is not voted by everyone. He's only ratified in Parliament. Okay? So that reduces his powers. The problem now is that this president is voted by everyone. So he can only be removed by everyone. So he can only be removed at the next elections. But if you go the way you want to go, anytime the president is misbehaving, you called back by Parliament and fired.
Okay.
And bring another person.
Another one.
So we think we are going to run Zambia better if if we have a person who knows that if I misbehave or don't want to listen, I can be removed anytime.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Kapembwa Simbao, thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I did combo in economics.
Yes.
Because I wanted people to understand relate. Yes. Otherwise, next time we can come to macroeconomics and microeconomics and all.
Yeah, but then again, I feel like combo in economics is okay because it's basic and even a layman can understand what we are talking about.
Correct.
Yeah.